dropped a major allegation saying there were issues with this rehab facility before the pandemic.
This lawsuit is not about the COVID virus. It is about what did not take place prior to the virus coming here. Within the calendar year before the virus came this spring, Brighton was cited on 3 separate occasions for failure to have proper infectious disease protocols in place. The failure to have protocols in place is what led this facility to have a horrific outbreak.
All right, now we have a statement up on your screen right now. We just got it moments ago from the rehab facility saying this: throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Brighton has worked closely to follow the guidance of governmental health officials. Brighton is pleased to say the facility has now gone months without a new case of COVID-19. This is a testament to the dedication of our staff and the support of our residents and their families. Right now, the facility's sole focus remains on ensuring the health and well-being of all residents and staff. Now, that is from facility management. We're back out live in front of the courthouse here where that announcement was made about the lawsuit just a short time ago. And tonight you're going to hear more from the attorneys involved in this case. Plus, you're going to hear from family members who are here today filing this lawsuit. Live in Beaver right now, Joe Arena, Channel 11 News.
All right, Joe, thank you. Big news. This afternoon, state health officials will discuss how they are supporting nursing homes and working to stop outbreaks before they happen. That news conference is planned for 1 o'clock this afternoon, and you can look for updates beginning tonight at 5. Breaking now at noon, we just got the latest COVID-19 cases from Allegheny County.
The health department says there were 119 new cases in the last 24 hours. 91 of those cases are confirmed. The new cases come from 2,000 tests taken between October 12th and the 20th. And there were also 10 new reported deaths. Severe Weather Team 11 meteorologist Danielle Dozier joining us now.
Danielle, I love that I got to open up my windows today and let some warm air in.
I'm sure a lot of us are going to be doing that today, Peggy and Gordon. These temperatures are in the lower 70s here in late October, pushing well above the average. 71 in Pittsburgh right now, 73 in Greensburg, and 72 in Washington. The winds are breezy right now, right at 14 in Pittsburgh and 15 in Greensburg. The gusts are even higher right now, ranging from 20 to about 25 miles per hour in spots. It will be a breezy afternoon for us. The temperature will shoot on up to 75 degrees this afternoon. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds. There will still be a chance for an isolated shower later this afternoon, so I'll show you exactly when. And we'll talk near record temperatures, not only on the high side of things, but on the low temperatures as well in the next couple of days. That's coming up.
Election day now less than 2 weeks away, and Allegheny County is working to smooth out a slew of problems.
Yeah, first, incorrect ballots were sent to voters, and now we're learning about registration issues for thousands of people.
Channel 11's Mike Holden explains what the county is saying and what's next.
We are now officially less than 2 weeks out from the presidential election, and at this afternoon hour, there are growing concerns over the process. Voters tell us they're worried not only about the ballots, but also the company that is sending those ballots in from Cleveland, Ohio. That company has since weighed in. They are clearing the air, stressing that they are on top of all of this, and they say they have no political bias at all whatsoever. Allegheny County is getting between 7,000 to 8,000 calls a day. Some voters saying those calls are left unanswered and messages not returned. In addition, more than 11,000 people were told they were not registered to vote, and their ballot applications were denied. Plus, the state's ballot tracker has been down at times, and there are still questions over those naked ballots and envelopes. At the last Board of Elections meeting before November 3rd, Councilwoman Bethany Hallam had expressed major concerns over Midwest Direct. That is the company out of Cleveland responsible for mailing out 29,000 incorrect ballots to Allegheny County voters. She says the company's background has raised quite a few red flags.
Members of the family that owns it were indicted for mail fraud in the 90s. They are very loud, outspoken supporters of the GOP and often fly a Trump flag at their headquarters. So I'm just worried that it's a very partisan company.
And meantime, this afternoon, in a statement posted to their website, the owners of Midwest Direct say their personal political beliefs have nothing to do with how they run their business. And out here this afternoon, Midwest Direct has also stressed that they are on top of everything, sending out all of those ballots and working directly with the United States Postal Service to ensure each and every vote is counted moving forward. We're going to continue to check in with that company, work to get additional responses from them, and bring you the latest updates for Channel 11 News starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Reporting this afternoon from the North Shore, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
And you heard Mike talking about Midwest Direct. Westmoreland County is also having problems with Midwest Direct. For the first time, that county hired a third-party company to print and distribute ballots, but now frustrations are mounting over all of the delays. We spoke with county commissioners yesterday who told us that part of the problem is the dates listed on the state's website for when ballots were sent out was wrong. The county told us these 7 dates saying a ballot was mailed out are actually incorrect. Those ballots were sent out on Monday instead. The ballots processed from October 17th to the 19th will be sent out today. So far, 68,000 ballots have been processed, but commissioners are expecting more than 100,000 by next week.
Less than 24 hours to go until debate day. This will be the last time we see President Trump and Joe Biden on stage together before the election. NBC's Tracy Potts is tracking the latest on Decision 2020 and the hordes of people all over the country already turning out to vote.
Long lines across America marking a surge in early voting with less than 2 weeks to go.
I know it wasn't interesting in the past, actually, but I think now it's very important to do so.
More than 30 million people have already voted, 2/3 of the early vote total from 2016. NBC tracks more Democrats than Republicans so far. Both candidates are honing in on Pennsylvania, where polls are deadlocked.
If we win Pennsylvania, we win the whole thing.
President Trump protesting a Supreme Court ruling allowing Pennsylvania ballots to be counted up to 3 days after the election. And he's chiding the state for not reopening sooner.
You guys aren't even open yet. What the hell is going on with your state?
President Obama campaigns in Philadelphia today for Joe Biden, who's behind closed doors preparing for tomorrow's debate. Topics include families, race, climate, national security, leadership, and COVID-19.
Make no mistake, we are in the second surge.
With much of the country overwhelmed with new cases, the candidates are hitting the airwaves.
Joe Biden nos permitiría arreglar los daños.
And hitting the handful of states that could determine the outcome. Tracy Potts, NBC News.
Coronavirus concerns in Westmoreland County as cases rise. A surge could have consequences for every school in that county. Channel 11's Alyssa Raymond explains exactly what's going on and what it means for hundreds of families.
You're not going to see students here at the high school for the rest of this week. As of right now, the plan is to have some students go back to school here on Monday, but that could all change. Here's what's been going on out here. The decision comes after 2 more students tested positive, one at the high school and one at the middle school. That means 12 students tested positive for COVID-19 over the past 8 days. According to the Trib, Pennsylvania Department of Education officials could soon start urging schools to close and move to online learning only. Currently, Westmoreland County has the 7th highest incidence of new cases in the state. And just this week, the county moved from moderate to substantial. When that happens, the Department of Health and the Department of Education get more involved. Officials from both departments have been meeting virtually with superintendents in the county pretty regularly. Now, take a look at this. Here's a look at some of the other districts in the county dealing with an increase in COVID-19 cases besides Hempfield. We're talking Penn Trafford, Norwin, and Kiski. As for what's next for Hempfield area schools, in a letter that was just sent out to parents just yesterday, the superintendent says if the county stays in that upgraded alert level for coronavirus, they'll move to all remote learning starting on Wednesday, and they'll make that decision by Monday. Reporting from outside of Hempfield Area High School, Alyssa Raymond, Channel 11 News.
Parents at Quaker Valley schools are looking for answers after an outbreak there. As of last night, 133 students and staffers were in quarantine. There are 10 active cases of COVID-19 at the high school and another 5 at the middle school. Because of that, those schools switched to virtual learning for 14 days. At last night's school board meeting, officials assured parents they are committed to transparency. They said they'll post the latest numbers daily on the district website. They'll also send out daily updates. Breaking at noon, the maker of OxyContin plans to plead guilty for its role in the opioid pandemic. As part of the deal, at Purdue Pharma will also pay $8 billion. According to the Justice Department, the company will plead guilty to 3 criminal counts, including conspiracy to defraud the United States and violating federal anti-kickback laws. According to public health records, more than 470,000 people have died from opioids in the U.S. in the last 20 years.
Still to come on Channel 11 News at noon, a national breast cancer organization is shutting down its local office. But why they say this will not affect the work they do.
And the work being done in our area to make sure everyone feels safe while casting their vote.
Plus, I'm pinpointing when we could see a shower later today, and I'm talking temperatures and just how close we're going to get to records over the next couple of days.
Need an umbrella? Should you grab a coat? What about those weekend plans? Watch Chief Meteorologist Stephen Cropper, Scott Harbaugh.
Let me help you plan your day.
Danielle Dozier and Jessica Faith. Count on Severe Weather Team 11.
When news is happening near you, Channel 11 is there.
Aliquippa, Coriopolis, Moon. We cover news everywhere you live.
That's what makes Channel 11 News different.
We're in McCandless, Cranberry, Butler. For news from where you live,
watch Channel 11 News at 5.
Nobody can read between the lines like Judge Judy.
Today, we expect jury trials to resume in Allegheny County, but jury selection will be held in 2 large halls at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center. It will allow potential jurors to safely social distance. Jury trials were put on hold back in March.
Negotiators on Capitol Hill will try again today to come to an agreement on a coronavirus relief deal to help struggling Americans and businesses. As Jacqueline Fell shows us, progress is being made, but time is running out.
There's been no major breakthrough in coronavirus relief talks, but there's been enough progress that the top negotiators are optimistic they can make a deal before the election. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will talk with Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin again today. Democrats I've spoken to tell me they believe Pelosi can bring another massive package to the House floor for a vote by Election Day. But some Republican lawmakers are skeptical that there's enough time. Negotiators blew past a self-imposed deadline yesterday with no agreement. The sides are struggling to find consensus on a national testing and tracing plan and funding for state and local governments, businesses, and schools. The U.S. Senate is moving ahead, not confident negotiations will work out. Senators will vote on a smaller relief package that includes funding for new unemployment benefits, testing and schools, as well as liability protection for businesses. Reporting outside Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Channel 11 News.
The future of Pittsburgh's race for the cure is up in the air. It comes after the Susan G. Komen Foundation announced plans to close all offices, all local offices anyway, across the country. The foundation, as you may know, has raised millions of dollars for breast cancer research, screenings, and treatment over the past 3 decades. And local organizers say even with the announcement of the local office closures, they can't imagine the race wouldn't continue, calling it a very special event for families. The foundation says it's closing the local offices to focus on advocacy and research at a national level. All local offices will be closing by the end of the year. Students are finding new ways to bully their classmates over virtual learning.
But all it takes is one child to make a mean comment about someone else, and then you have several people jumping in on that.
Since the start of the pandemic, reports of online bullying have jumped 30% in Pennsylvania. Cameras used during virtual learning can open kids up to ridicule.
We're also noticing that kids are getting teased sometimes for either what they have in their background or maybe what they don't have if it's a household where there's not a lot of resources there.
As parents, you're being asked to look for behavioral changes in your child and reach out to teachers if you see any comments or actions that are just not okay.
It is now illegal in Pittsburgh to discriminate against African Americans based on their hairstyles. On Tuesday, City Council unanimously passed the legislation. It's known as the Creating a Respectful and Open World for Natural Hair, or CROWN Act. It protects black Pittsburghers for employment, housing, education, and public access to services. Allegheny County passed similar legislation making it illegal in Allegheny County to discriminate based on hairstyle. They also approved recognizing Juneteenth as a paid holiday for county employees. Juneteenth is the day that celebrates the end of slavery in the United States.
So is it just allergies, or is it something worse? That's a question a whole lot of people ask themselves this time of year. Typically, more allergy sufferers head to the doctor's office this time of year, but allergy experts say people have even more questions and concerns now because of the pandemic.
Getting it a lot from kids who are going back to school. And some kids are being sent home because they have some allergy symptoms that it's hard to differentiate between that and potential coronavirus infections.
But doctors do say that allergies and COVID can give you a headache, both of them, and they can cause congestion. But allergies generally will not give you a fever, a sore throat, or a loss of smell or taste.
Heavy wet snow blanketed much of central Minnesota Tuesday. These pictures are from the Minneapolis area, where a few inches fell Tuesday. Some areas north of Minneapolis recorded around 9 inches. The top Halloween snowfall was 8.2 inches back in 1991.
Your severe winter Team 11 forecast.
I know a lot of you are sitting at home on your couch and you're looking at that snow video like, nope, I think I can wait, right? Well, we are dealing with the warm weather out there today for sure. If you're doing a little gardening later this afternoon, the temperatures will be climbing into the mid-70s, so perfect weather. I'll be a little bit breezy with occasional gusts to 20 miles per hour, but a very unseasonably warm day. By 8 o'clock, we're down in the upper 60s. Here's a look at our storm tracker maps. We've been dealing with some sun, some clouds, and a lot of sunshine down to the south. That will be expected through the rest of the afternoon. Just a few clouds coming into those areas areas, Uniontown, Morgantown as well, as we head toward late day. And we'll thicken up the cloud cover as well around our area by the afternoon as we bring in a cold front. Now, the cold front is not going to be chilling us off at all. It's really just going to give us a wind shift around to the northwest later on today, and it's going to be providing enough lift for a chance for these spotty showers. So I would have your umbrella with you if you're heading out by late afternoon and into the early evening hours, as we could be tracking a little bit of spotty wet weather. But by the later night hours, 10, 11 o'clock, we are drying things out, and it'll be mostly cloudy overnight tonight. Into tomorrow morning, it's a mild start to the day. The temperature will be holding right around 58 degrees from 6 to 7 and even 8 o'clock. And as the sun comes up, it'll be a partly sunny sky for us, although in some spots we could be dealing with some areas of fog. The temperatures will be cooling very close to the dew point temperatures overnight tonight. And when that happens and you have really light winds or calm winds, which we're expecting to see, you can get those areas of fog, and it could be thick in spots. So some low visibility is possible out the door Thursday morning. This is a look at our latest fog tracker maps at 5 a.m. on Thursday. You can see the areas in white where we could have some more dense fog. The less dense fog shows up in gray, and that fog will be sticking around through the mid-morning hours, whatever is out there, of course. Tonight's low temperature about 57 with a mostly cloudy sky and calm winds. Tomorrow, check it out. The numbers: 78 in Pittsburgh, 79 in Uniontown, near 80 degrees in Morgantown. We should be in the low 60s. Let me show you the near record high minimum temperature. So when we talk overnight lows, what you typically see out there in the morning. Our forecast tomorrow morning, 57, the record 60. So we're going to be close to that. And then the record temperature as far as lows in the morning, Friday, 58's the forecast in the morning, 63 is the record. So we're going to be really close there as well. High temperatures though, 78's our forecast high on Thursday, the record 84. So we will not be reaching records on Thursday the way it appears right now. It'll be a little bit closer on Friday. Our forecast high is 79. Our record 82 degrees for that day of the year. So it's incredible to see this kind of warmth, isn't it? 5-day forecast with your weekend always in view. It is turning cooler. Saturday 58, some showers around in the morning. Sunday a few showers, spotty in nature though, with the temperature at 60 degrees. I'm not done yet. We're going to talk tropics. I've got an update to a new storm and how close we are to a record season coming up in the next half hour.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks, Danielle. The Westmoreland County Air Show is hoping to bring the U.S. Navy Blue Angels back in 2021. This year's show was canceled prior to the pandemic. The Blue Angels have tentatively been booked to perform Memorial Day weekend. Organizers say they are going to prepare, even though they don't know the status of the pandemic.
A pair of vets hitting the road. The cause, they say, is worth walking more than 100 miles for.
And a local fire department is not getting called out. Why? Well, there's confusion over that.
I like people to be honest, not stupid.
Nobody brings the truth to life.
Is that what you want me to believe?
Nobody can read between the lies.
I'm 5'9", and I have a body like Christy Brinkley. Do you believe that?
Like Judge Judy.
She's an 18-year-old girl. She got a settlement. You saw a little money. You wanted a big red truck. Shiny, shiny, shiny red truck. I still love this job.
Judge Judy, weekdays at 4 and 4:30 on Channel 11.
Watch The Kelly Clarkson Show weekdays at 1 p.m. right here on Channel 11.
A local fire company has not been on calls for months, and now there's a debate over why. Jefferson Hills Council voted to drop Gill Hall in January of 2019, but in April, a new council reinstated the volunteer company. Fire officials told our trip partners they're not being called because no one told Allegheny County Dispatch that they're back in service, but others say Gill Hall is blocked because they refuse to merge with other borough fire departments.
Courting danger, the serious trouble you could face if you're caught stealing election signs after the break.
And the rare legal move that could lift the veil of secrecy on a deadly police shooting.
Channel 11 News and NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
We're a team you can count on to cover stories that impact your life,
whether it's across the street or around the world.
Channel 11 News at 6.
And NBC Nightly News at 6:30.
You're streaming WPXI Now, your source for breaking news, weather, and original local shows. Murder, mystery, and the missing. Justice Rules profiles real-life crime stories. Tuesdays at 9 p.m. right here on WPXI Now.
When you want news from where you live,
watch Channel 11 News at 5.
A Decision 2020 crime spree. Political signs stolen from yards all across Allegheny County, and police tell us it's only going to get worse as we get closer to Election Day.
Biden and Trump signs have both been stolen. Trump signs have been defaced in the neighborhood.
From the North Hills to the South Hills, neighbors tell Channel 11 that political signs from both parties are being stolen, vandalized, and ripped up. Bethel Park police shared this video. They say it shows someone stealing a political sign last Friday in the Boxer Heights neighborhood.
I was actually really disheartened by it because I, as a woman, don't want my voice silenced.
Theft of political signs is a crime in all 50 states. In Pennsylvania, it's a third-degree misdemeanor, and you could face a $2,500 fine and up to a year in jail.
We're learning about groups across the country and right here in Pittsburgh that are working to prevent voter suppression. Channel 11's Ryan Houston has more on this.
I'm urging my supporters to go into the polls and watch very carefully.
That was President Trump speaking to millions of people on television during the first presidential debate. And after that, a Channel 11 viewer sent us a text message he received from election defenders. The message reads, quote, "We're protecting the election from radical white supremacists by monitoring polling places. Are you interested?" End quote.
We're training thousands of people across the country to be able, in the basics of COVID safety protocols, to hand out PPE, hand sanitizers and masks, as well as the basics of de-escalation if a problem were to occur outside of polling places.
That's Nalani Stamp. She's the campaign director for the national group. Stamp says the organization is nonpartisan and their main focus is to help voters with face masks, hand sanitizer, and anything else they need.
People are afraid of militias. There have been reports of militias outside of polling places in Georgia. And so we wanted to train thousands of people to just be outside of polling locations, like 2 per polling location, and just being there for if a voter actually calls out for help.
They're holding virtual trainings from now until Election Day.
Still, engage, but also show the person that you are not taking their bait. Right?
And some other topics include poll monitoring and de-escalation training.
Most of our folks are just going to be sitting outside, handing out masks and hand sanitizers, right? We just want to be prepared for any situation.
And the Allegheny County Sheriff's Office is ready as well. Channel 11 has learned more Allegheny County Sheriff deputies will be working 12-hour shifts on Election Day. Chief Deputy Sheriff Kevin Crowell says his officers will be working longer hours to patrol areas with voting precincts. He goes on to say they're working with the Allegheny County Board of Election to make sure people feel safe and secure placing their vote. I'm Ryan Houston. Back to you.
Severe Weather Team 11 meteorologist Danielle Dozier joins us again.
Yeah, Danielle, warm and breezy out there today. Really nice.
Yeah, very warm and very nice, that's for sure. 71 degrees right now with a breeze out of the southwest at 14 miles per hour. We have a mix of sun and clouds. The average high temperature for this day of the year is 61, so we're already 10 degrees above that. Looking to spike up into the mid-70s this afternoon. It's already close to the mid-70s in Beaver at 74. Our winds are starting to ramp up. Beaver, you've got a gust to 20. We've got a gust to 22 in Pittsburgh. We will have these breezy conditions continue for a few more hours, but they will begin to lighten up toward the later part of the day. And the temperatures are going up to about 75 this afternoon as we keep it breezy. Also a chance for an isolated shower by the late afternoon and into the early evening hours. So I'll walk you through our storm tracker maps if you're just joining us. And still to come, a look at the tropical update. I'll have that for you as well.
All right, thanks, Danielle. 3 Pittsburgh bars are shut down today. The Allegheny County Health Department says they violated COVID-19 mandates. The new report says Hottie's in Carnegie lacked face coverings and served alcohol at the bar. Bulldog in Lincoln Leamington was shut down for lack of social distancing and operating over capacity. And the Trap in Larimer was closed due to a lack of face coverings, social distancing, and operating over capacity. The bars must remain closed for a minimum of 7 days.
The State House failed to override a governor's veto that would have allowed restaurants and bars to fully reopen. The Pennsylvania Restaurant and Lodging Association called the outcome devastating. We told you it was back in July when they estimated 7,500 restaurants could close for good by the end of the year if these restrictions stay in place, and that could leave about 200,000 people unemployed.
I just think it's sad for the small business owners, especially the mom and pop businesses that are struggling to get by.
Governor Wolf, though, defended his veto, saying he is protecting customers, employees, and the community.
New at noon, in a rare move, a judge in the Breonna Taylor case has cleared the way for members of the grand jury that heard the case to speak publicly. We now know more about what went on with that grand jury and what else might happen. NBC's Blaine Alexander has the latest.
Well, an attorney for Breonna Taylor's family calls this a major development. A judge has now cleared the way for jurors, grand jurors who heard evidence in the Breonna Taylor case to speak out publicly. Now, typically these proceedings are kept very secretive, but the judge in this case, in her ruling, said that there is public interest in making sure that these records become public, saying that the people of Kentucky need to be assured that their publicly elected officials are being honest. Now, already one grand juror who wants to remain anonymous has released a statement saying that during those proceedings, proceedings. Some in the grand jury actually asked about additional charges, but they were told that they would not apply because the prosecution did not believe that they could stick. That's according to that statement from the grand juror. Now, in a statement of his own, Kentucky's Attorney General Daniel Cameron said that while he disagrees with the judge's decision to allow those jurors to speak publicly, he will not appeal. In Atlanta, I'm Blaine Alexander, NBC News.
Police are investigating a shooting that led them from Brighton Heights to Bellevue. That is where they found 3 victims. Evidence of a shooting was found along Fleming Avenue when police responded to a shot spotter alert. Officials say the victims escaped to Bellevue, where police found a car with a bullet hole along Grant Avenue. We're told the victims are all in stable condition. No word yet on a possible shooter.
In Westmoreland County, a young man was arrested late last night for shooting 2 young adults in Jeanette. This happened on South 3rd Street, just a short distance from downtown Jeanette. The victims were taken to Forbes Hospital.
This is what we have to be doing.
The new push today to mask up as the number of COVID-19 cases continues to grow.
Hi, I'm Lisa Robertson, and we've been bringing you a special version of Local Steals and Deals, where we shine a spotlight on amazing companies and their passionate founders. Small businesses really are the backbone of America, and we need them to thrive now more than ever. With Local Steals and Deals, we bring you exclusive offers from these brands on products that make your life safer, brighter, and more fun at a time when we all really need it. Join us in making a difference. Simply pick up your phone and text USA to 65,000 to learn more.
Channel 11 Morning News brings you what's happening now.
Hackers are seizing on the presidential election.
So here's what the FBI says that we can all do to avoid becoming a victim.
Tracking where you might need your windshield wipers on the way into work.
What's new?
There are new reports of people getting incorrect mail-in ballots.
And what's next?
We're out here in front of City Court live this morning, working to see what will happen next.
The better chance of rain showers approaching the evening hours.
Count on Channel 11 News for live coverage every morning. Watch Catherine Amenta and Gordon Lesh on Channel 11 Morning News.
A court has approved the bankruptcy plan for Pittsburgh-based GNC. The approval comes with the company's largest shareholder, Harbin. Harbin plans to buy the nutritional supplements retailer for $770 million. The agreement is expected to keep the remaining stores open. This summer, GNC announced plans to close up to 1,200 stores.
There's a new campaign aimed at encouraging you to wear a mask. You may have already seen the Mask Up America message. The campaign will appear online and in public spots in states seeing a surge in cases, including Pennsylvania.
As necessary as water, as necessary as oxygen. Right now, this is what we have to be doing.
Talked to a few of my friends that have lost loved ones, and it's not a hoax. It's not a fraud.
The new PSA created by the Infectious Diseases Society of America and the Ad Council.
Today, the University of Pittsburgh is hosting 2 food distributions. They are from 2 to 6 this afternoon, one in Homewood and one in Oakland. And we put all of the information up on your screen. Pitt plans to hand out up to 5,000 food boxes for anyone who is in need. And there is another Farmers to Families food distribution made possible by the USDA and farmers. Each box has produce, dairy, and meat products for 10 meals. Unplug, strap in, and drive off. At least that's the plan. The big bet car makers are placing on e-vehicles.
And coming up, I'll walk you hour by hour through our latest storm tracker data to show you when that rain may move into your neighborhood.
Nobody can read between the lines.
She's an 18-year-old girl. She got a settlement. You saw a little money. You wanted a big red truck.
Like Judge Judy.
Shiny, shiny, shiny red truck.
Judge Judy, weekdays at 4 and 4:30 on Channel 11. You're streaming WPXI now. Channel 11 expands its streaming live newscast. When other stations are national, Channel 11 News is local, right here at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. on WPXI Now.
What's new?
What's now and what's next every morning
on Channel 11 Morning News.
Ford just revealed the next generation of self-driving vehicles. It's built on the Escape hybrid platform and uses the latest sensing and computing technology from Pittsburgh-based Argo. The new vehicle is said to have improved detection of fixed and moving objects. It will be added to the test fleets in 6 cities, including Pittsburgh.
Meantime, more companies are betting big on electric vehicles, and soon we may all be plugging in instead of filling up. NBC's Liz McLaughlin shows us some of the latest new models.
GMC's going big on electric vehicles, literally and figuratively. Tuesday night unveiling its new Hummer EV, one of 20 electric vehicles the manufacturer plans to release by 2023. General Motors is investing more than $2 billion in its U.S. manufacturing operations, largely to increase production of electric vehicles. And while a super-size EV is among GM's electric bets, others are thinking small.
It registers as a motorcycle, so the insurance rates are lower and everything like that.
The three-wheeled, single-seat, solo electric vehicle from Electromechanica is taking aim at city commuters.
That space between micromobility and passenger cars.
With a 100-mile range and top speed of 80 miles per hour.
The price point is very attainable. It's $18,500.
And it could save you money down the road, too. According to a recent Consumer Reports analysis, owning a plug-in electric vehicle today will save thousands in lifetime ownership costs compared to a gas-powered vehicle.
The world is headed away from fossil fuels and towards alternative fuels or electric vehicles or hydrogen. Of course, we have to. Not just for our generation, but for our children, too.
Growing interest in EVs to save money and the environment. Liz McLaughlin, NBC News.
GM's Hummer EV will go on sale in roughly a year, likely ahead of Tesla's Cybertruck. It will be GM's first real test as a competitor against Tesla.
More headaches for the world's largest theater chain. AMC says it may have to file for bankruptcy soon. AMC says it's working with banks to get more financing, but if that falls through, it could likely face Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Earlier this month, AMC said it could run out of money by the end of the year. Despite the challenges, the movie theater chain said it will remain open.
FedEx is working to make returns easier. The company is going to stop requiring boxes and labels for certain return items. The changes will let customers return some products in person with no label or box. The in-person return service will be available at upwards of 2,000 FedEx locations across the U.S. That includes 343 Walmart stores with FedEx stations inside.
We're in the middle of tick season, and the threat for Lyme disease is very real. Adult ticks are the most active in October and November. They're looking for two things, a meal and a mate. Deer, humans, and other mammals are favorite targets. Pennsylvania saw the highest number of Lyme disease cases back in the country in 2018. A surveillance program was set up to monitor the spread on hiking trails, forests, and brushy areas.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Well, good afternoon once again. I'm showing you the radar up to the north because we do have some showers that are starting to develop through Lawrence County, northern Butler County. If you're up around Slippery Rock, you're going to need your umbrella before you head out. Little spotty showers developed there. A couple pockets of moderate rain showing up in Yellow, Clintonville. Also some rain in your area. The rest of us are dry and we're dealing with a few clouds, a little sunshine mixed in as well. Visible satellite shows those clouds moving in from the west, kind of moving up along the I-80 corridor, places like Beaver and Butler getting in on some sun, some clouds. Same thing in Pittsburgh, and full sunshine, especially down to the south where just a few passing clouds will be moving in later on today. Now, speaking of sunshine, daylight, we are losing it. Have you noticed? Back on the summer solstice, our sunrise was 5:49, our sunset 8:53, and today sunrise 7:37. Our sunset is 6:30 now. And you can see our losing daylight graphic here. Summer solstice, we had 15 hours and 4 minutes. Today, daylight hours, 10 hours and 52 minutes. Well, the time change, by the way, I know a lot of you might be thinking, well, when is that? That's on November 1st. You can see here, storm tracker maps, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We've got some showers that are still up into the northwestern counties and chance here in Allegheny County as we head toward late afternoon and early evening. These are associated with a front. It's a weak front that will be moving through the area, giving us a wind shift around to the northwest later on today. So have your umbrella with you later on if you are heading out. Besides that, it's going to be a mix of sun and clouds, with the clouds thickening up though later on today. Here's a look at our fog tracker in the morning, 5:30. Some areas of thick fog could be with us in spots. That fog begins to lift as we head into mid-morning, so reduced visibility for some of you out the door tomorrow morning. We'll have more clouds out there early, then the fog will lift. If we do have the fog in your area, then you have the sunshine. So we're looking at more clouds in the morning, more sunshine toward the afternoon. Temperatures will be climbing quickly. We're looking at highs tomorrow in the upper 70s. So if you're out walking your dog, the short sleeves are in order. About 79 in Greensburg and in Uniontown. Beaver checking in near 79. As promised, a look at the tropics, and I wanted to update you on this because this swirl that you're seeing here in the clouds, look at that pinhole there, that eye That's a strong storm. That is Epsilon, and it is a Cat 1 storm right now. And I'm telling you this because it's not going to have any direct influence on the U.S. mainland, as it's going to stay way out in the Atlantic. But the interesting thing about this one is we are actually now one storm name away, or one storm, if you will, away from actually tying the record number from the year 2005. 2005, we got 6 letters into the Greek alphabet. So just one more storm this season, and there we go. We're tying it. So in case you were curious, their hurricane season ends November 1st. As far as locally, though, the warmth will continue into the end of the week for us. It cools down for your weekend with some chances for showers both Saturday and Sunday.
Guys, I just want you to remember, everybody has a choice.
2 men, 110 miles, and 1 goal. How a pair of friends are trying to save lives one step at a time.
Now here's local steals and deals.
I have a fabulous line for you. This is the ice shaker line. Now, I'm sure that you probably heard of this because they were on Shark Tank and we all love that show. And Mark Cuban invested in them. Oh, they're actually owned by the Gronkowski brothers, who we know and love. Do your kids play sports? It's mandatory that they bring their own water bottle. But they kind of made a better one because what they did is they made one that's going to be perfect for hot or cold. Not just the insulation, but also the design of the lid. So now if I'm going to drink a cold beverage, like I love ice water. I live on ice water, drink it all the time, can't get enough of it, right? Now I can put my ice water in here and I can drink it through the straw. But tomorrow morning, I'm going to want coffee because it's colder now. Now I can put my piping hot coffee in here, take the straw out, close that, and drink my hot coffee out of here. So this is perfect because when your kids are going to go to the ballpark, when they're going to do their sports, they're going to need their own water bottle, and they're going to need to be able to recognize it quickly when they're picking it up so they don't grab someone else's. How do you know whose you're grabbing? These are perfect because they have all kinds of different designs, and they're really fun, and they have all kinds of different sizes. So you might want a larger one, and he might want a smaller one, and whatever you want to do. But Ice Shaker is a name you know and love, and right now they're 25% off on localsteals.com. This is one of the best ideas ever. Stay hydrated, have a lot of fun, always know it's yours.
Channel 11 News investigates and digs deeper.
Still concerns over the reliability of mail-in ballots. Channel 11's Gabriella DeLuca spoke with a member of the Allegheny County Elections Board to get some answers on this.
Almost 29,000 people in Allegheny County received the wrong mail-in ballot.
I was expecting a couple thousand, not almost 30,000.
But we're just 20 days away from the November election.
Now county officials are working to fix it.
Count on Channel 11 News.
nobody can read between the lines like Judge Judy.
NASA successfully collected a sample from an asteroid. The spacecraft was the size of a van and it dodged boulders the size of buildings to grab a handful of cosmic rubble. The samples will return to Earth in 2023 to be analyzed. Pretty cool. 2 U.S. veterans still serving the country by serving others who also wore the uniform.
They are on a mission to raise awareness about issues like PTSD. Adam Smith and Brian Alvey became friends while serving in the National Guard. When they came home, they found they now share something else, PTSD. To help other vets, they started a 110-mile charity walk, and last year they raised $20,000.
We both found our place in that deep depression, lost without purpose or mission, pistols in mouths, ready to pull the trigger. And by the grace of God and whatever higher power that you might believe in, we didn't, and we're here.
Studies say nearly 14% of Iraq and Afghanistan soldiers suffer from PTSD, and more than 6,000 veterans die from suicide each year. Smith and Alvey hope their efforts will bring that number down. Some great work they're doing there.
We're with them on that. All right. That is all for Channel 11 News at noon. Our next newscast is tonight at 5 o'clock.
You can get breaking news updates anytime on our streaming apps. Just search WPXI on Apple TV, Roku, or Amazon Fire. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. On Channel 11 Morning News, we bring you what's new, what's happening now, and what's next.
That means our newsroom is always searching for new details and new stories. It also means breaking. If it's happening now, I'm on it, bringing you live updates from the breaking news desk.
Our crews know the mission, too.
Brand new confirmed information. I'm going to bring that to you live.
Preparing you for what happens next. How will news stories, weather, and traffic affect your day?
What's new, what's now, and what's next every morning on Channel 11 Morning News.